This week in Ohio Country Today, Gary Jackson and I travel to the home of Farm Science Review, the Molly Caron Agricultural Center in beautiful London, Ohio. And we have two great stories for you with Nick Zachrich and Matt Sullivan. Farm Science Review right around the corner, coming up September 21st through the 23rd. We'll have those stories and more this week in Ohio Country Today.
Summer's here, and what better time to hit the county fair to enjoy food, fun, and tractor pulling. Tractor pulling! That's right, the Lucas Oil Pro Pulling League is hitting the Auglaize County Fairgrounds August 7th. Sponsored by Triple R Tire and Miami Erie Propane. It's the final night of the week-long fair, and we're closing out with the Pro Stock Unlimited Super Stock Tractors and Pro Mod Trucks.
Gates open at 5. Show starts at 7.
For tickets and info, call 419-738-2515 or visit AuglaizeCountyFair.org.
Join the CR Revelation with New Holland and Apple Farm Service. The famous twin-rotor combine is now the world's highest capacity combine. Save on fuel and lower grain loss with the IntelliSense Combine Automation System. Stop into your local Apple Farm Service to learn more.
It's a humble idea. Use a biological process to turn a plant into a power source. From that idea came the first Poet Refinery. One biorefinery in one town turned into 27 facilities in 27 towns, creating new local jobs, producing hundreds of millions of gallons of ethanol, and providing renewable products around the world. Suddenly, that one little idea seems a whole lot bigger. See the world differently with Poet.
The new Ag Pack is here at St. Mary's Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, your exclusive certified agriculture dealership. Ag Pack is a powerful package of farm and ranch discounts and incentives worth thousands of dollars, absolutely free. Stop by and see Dave Hager, your ag commercial specialist, and ask about the vehicles, discounts, and incentives in the new Ag Pack.
You get straight talk, real service, and the right price. St. Mary's Chrysler, you get straight talk.
Alan Davis, business owner, active farmer. No one knows farmers' needs better than Alan. Give him a call today at 419-738-7447 and talk about total farm protection and more. Alan Davis Insurance Agency is your solutions provider for auto, home, life, business, recreational, total farm protection and more. Call 419-738-7447. That's 419-738-7447.
At the Molly Caron Agricultural Center, just north of London, we have the opportunity to talk with Nick Zachrich at the Farm Science Review site. Nick is manager, and Nick, my gosh, after seems like decades, I bet it's only been a little bit more than a couple of years, year and a half, what have you. We're back here, and we're going to have an honest-to-goodness, real Farm Science Review this year.
That's right, and I think a lot of people have been waiting to hear us say the words. It's going to be an in-person full Farm Science Review, and that's what you're going to have full support from our leadership at Ohio State and our College of Food, Agricultural, and Environmental Sciences, and we're moving forward. So, willing that we don't have a major lapse in what we've all suffered here for the last almost 2 years now, that's our plan. We're moving forward, and we have a lot of good participation from our exhibitors and a lot of attendees that have shown that they're excited to be back and see us after just missing 1 year. It seems like a really long time.
Well, with COVID and the fact that a lot of businesses shut down, a lot of times a company doesn't come back. And as far as that goes, you've been talking about mergers with companies. What is the number of exhibitors like so far?
Yep, so we're still filling a little bit of space because it is a little bit of a big jigsaw puzzle to have to put together, and some exhibitors that still want more space. Over the years they realized I just don't have enough, and they're seeing this as an opportunity to maybe capture a little bit more space to be able to exhibit the things that they want. And there's several hundred exhibitors that we'll have again. Right now we're still filling those spaces, so it's hard to give you an exact number. And we do have a lot of good educational displays that'll be present as well. So we know in the industry that there's a lot of staffing issues, a lot of logistic issues, and then just overall just products, being able to supply what they need for their customers right now is challenging. So sometimes you may be able to come to Farm Science Review and get those answers of what are the lead times if I want to buy one of these, or those type of questions that may be important in a normal year, but even more so now where some of the lead times can be several months rather than just a couple of weeks.
Well, Farm Science Review over the years has always been cutting edge and brought about some things that might be just on the horizon as far as being made public or available to the public. And I guess this year there's going to be, from a technical standpoint, you're going to have a building someplace to show like a 360 movie, 360 around movie.
Yeah, so what we're calling this is the iFarm Immersive Theater. So what that means is you can see some video. So before, you may have seen an educational extension display where you were able to wear virtual reality goggles and experience that videos by turning your head left and right and seeing what was around you. So it wasn't just a still picture on a TV in front of you. In this opportunity, you'll be able to go inside of a dome and experience that video without having to wear goggles. So that was one of the things that kind of came about from the COVID experience that we had, was how can we do this in a more sanitary way? And sometimes the goggles weren't always, the best anyway, especially if it's 90 degrees on a warm day and everybody's sweating, and those goggles are a little harder to keep clean. So now that we can do that, let people go inside this dome and be able to experience that in a safer way. And the experience itself is even better. So that's kind of what we're really looking forward to, is seeing these videos. And if you know what I mean, like going on YouTube, you can go on YouTube and watch some videos that you can kind of scroll around and pan from side to side and see a little bit more than what you could see if just the video was focused on one thing. And a lot of these videos are going to be educational. It's not just entertainment. So a lot of times when farmers have an opportunity to see something they can't see in person, and what I mean by that is you can put cameras in places that you can't necessarily go as a person, a human being. So those cameras are much smaller, and you can put them in a dangerous place, while the equipment's running, that you wouldn't be able to stand if you were there in person.
I heard maybe one buzzword would be inside a beehive.
That's right. So we have some beehives over at the Gwen Conservation Area, and those bees have kind of grown in number, just from a research standpoint for one, and we're doing such a great job with our research there. With Reed Johnson up in Worcester was one of our faculty members that's been involved with that project, and we're able to place some cameras in strategic places so that you can get an up close look at those bees going in and out of the hive, and a lot of different things you wouldn't normally see. So that's just one of the opportunities that I think is really cool. Other than the equipment things like I mentioned, those are going to be some of the videos that you'll be able to watch here at Farm Science Review, and hopefully we'll get this theater, because it's going to be semi-mobile, around the state for other folks to be able to see. If you're not able to come to Farm Science Review, that's the first place you're going to be able to get this action, but we'll be able to have some of those experiences around the state too as well, with our OSU Extension educators taking them around.
That sounds great. Sounds really exciting. Something else that's usually exciting is the information that you get from some of the educational features here at the review.
Yeah, so there's a lot of different places you can get education. We're standing here right now in the plots by the east parking lot, so the main parking lot where visitors come in. OSU Extension has a really nice display where they plant live crops growing in different places. There's different stages of development. There's a lot of different things just to ask questions. And one of the things back here, to my left, right on the screen, there's some interseeded crops within corn. There's a lot of different varieties. There are a lot of different species involved with that interseeding. So some of them you might scratch your head and go, why are we doing that? So I don't have those answers because I'm not the one that planted those. But our educators will be here staffing this display, and will be able to answer all those questions of what opportunities are here, right behind us right now. What are the opportunities here at Farm Science Review that I can ask a question about that I hadn't thought of yet? So you may have that question you don't even know yet, and you can get it answered right here.
And possibly some questions about irrigation might be answered as well.
That's correct. So we have a couple of small plots that are behind us that we have some irrigation on. There's a lot of interest in irrigation right now. There's been irrigation in Ohio for many years, we know that, but it's not been to the scale of some other places around the country or the world. But with it growing, an opportunity exists to be able to supplement that water need as we have different weather patterns and things like that are creating either drier or wetter air conditions. We know that tile is going to save us, save our crops if we have too much rain, but what if we're in a drought situation? It used to not be quite as often, it seems like, and now it seems to be we're getting drier and then wet and then wet and then dry. So it kind of goes back and forth, but we have these opportunities. We're going to take a look at some things, and we can answer maybe some of those questions you have about irrigation as well.
Well, before we went on the air, we were talking, and there are some areas of the state where farmers actually trade acreage for more acreage someplace else, so other farmers can try irrigation on their crops that the home farmer might not necessarily grow.
Yeah, that's right. So there's a lot of specialty crops growing around Ohio, and there's things for them to find at Farm Science Review also, and we're proud of that because there's a lot of different parts of the industry, the segments of the industry are pretty wide in Ohio. We're not just a corn and soybean state. There may be a lot of corn and soybean acres, but there's a lot of things grown in Ohio with tomatoes and pumpkins and a lot of other crops, and the grape acreage is really growing a lot as well. But on those row crops, irrigation with those and pivots, there are farmers out there that are trading acres so that it may be a one-to-one, like a cornfield for what was a green bean field, so they can get those green beans on different acres and kind of get a little bit more rotation and a little more diversification on those acres.
Well, where and when we're out here right now, everything around us seems to be green, and hopefully by the time that we get to the Farm Science Review, the third week in September, and because I just mentioned that, why don't you give us the dates?
Yep, we're September 21st, 22nd, and 23rd, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
And always an easy place to get to.
Yep, we're right off of Interstate 70, and US 40 kind of sandwiches us in there. So we're right between the two of those. Easy access to a 4-lane highway or 6-lane interstate into a 4-lane highway. Gets you in and out pretty quickly, even though there are thousands of people coming.
And for people that want a little bit more information, what's the best way for them to find that?
Yep, our website is FSR, as in Farm Science Review, .osu.edu. So that's fsr.osu.edu. And we do have a pretty good social media presence we've been growing here the last couple of years. So Facebook has been a very popular app for us, but there's also Twitter, Instagram, and the newest one for us, which has grown very quickly, is TikTok. So short videos, and you can get to see a little bit more about what's going on behind the scenes, either on the farm or preparing for the show.
And Nick, thanks for being with us.
Thank you. Really appreciate all your time, Gary.
And stay with us. Back with more right after this.
Closed captioning paid for in part by the following. Dye Real Estate and Land Company specializes in farmland and recreational land throughout Ohio. A company for people who enjoy the rural lifestyle and looking to buy or sell their land. All of our land agents are members of the Realtors Land Institute and have extensive experience in farming and agricultural land business. At Dye Real Estate and Land Company, we'll work with you to tailor-fit a plan that works best for you, your family, and your investments. Our services include 1031 tax-deferred exchanges, land brokerage, land auctions, and CMAs and valuations for estates and planning. We are Dye Real Estate and Land Company. Call us today and visit our website at dyerealestate.com. Dye Real Estate and Land Company. We know the land business because we live it every day.
No one likes downed corn, but it happens, and when it does, you can't afford to lose any more yield. Pick up lodged or downed corn with the aggressive Drago corn head, available at your local Apple Farm Service. Longer and more aggressive gathering chains translates into the ability to pick up downed corn that sits lower to the ground.
Rodak and Midway Trailers are your source for Wilson Livestock Trailers. Reliable, lightweight, and durable, Wilson Livestock Trailers are your best value year after year. With attention to animal and operator safety, Wilson offers biosecurity and features more attuned to the needs and concerns of today's livestock haulers. Remember Rodak and Midway Trailers for sales and service of Wilson Livestock Trailers, with 3 locations to serve you in Delphus, St. Mary's, and Dayton.
What's 1/8 of an inch mean? If it's the gap in your corn head's deck plates, it could mean losing 4 bushels every acre. That's why Drago invented their yield-capturing, self-adjusting deck plates. Deck plates that automatically adjust the size of the corn stalk. Ask your local Apple Farm Service to learn more.
Our farm department is committed to providing ag professionals the products, coverages, and peace of mind needed to run a successful operation. With our home office located in the heart of farm country, many of us have first-hand experience when it comes to farming, and we know how to take out the risk. Under one policy, we can provide total protection of your investment, from your home and barns to your equipment and livestock. We also provide an outstanding equine coverage, from a homeowner with a single horse to a professional breeder and everything in between. Come join us and experience the Salina difference.
Well, back at the Molly Caron Agricultural Center, we're standing at the Farm Science Review. I'm visiting with the Superintendent of Grounds here, Matt Sullivan. Matt, good to talk with you, and I guess there for a while we didn't know when we would see each other again.
You know, Gary, that's a good thing about it. I was going to say neat, but I'm like, this is a good thing that we're back and we're visiting with each other and we're able just to tell people about what we're doing here at the Molly Caron Agricultural Center.
Well, of course, we have crop rotation. That's been practiced here in Ohio for years. What can we learn now, so many years later?
You know, one of the unique things here at Molly Caron is that we have access to some of the greatest experts in the world about crop rotations and corn and soybeans and wheat and forages, and they've been a tremendous help to us here at the Molly Caron. We're able to look at different types of rotations and implement different types of cover crops and see how it can improve our yields.
Well, you know, that's the one advantage of having a site that stays at the same place year after year, because you can gather records from one year, compare it to the next year, what you did with fertilizers, what you did with herbicides and what have you, and come out with some game plans that really can enhance the yield in years to come.
You're right, Gary. Over the past 30 years, we've been able to watch what we've been putting on our soil, or into our soil, if you want to say, and been able to make those changes. When you think about when we started implementing this new technology called variable rate technology, we have reduced our phosphorus application by 80%.
Wow.
80%. Now, I didn't say 8%, I said 80%. So we're still getting the same crops and the same yields, only we're able to put the nutrients where they need to be.
And of course, that helps everything down the river.
That's right. We have a philosophy here at Molly Caron. We say that when a raindrop hits the ground, we want to be able to watch it all the way through our system, and we're able to do that. And so we want to stay on the nutrient side of things, not the pollutant. So if we stay on the nutrient side, that means they stay in our field, not in the stream.
That's fabulous. And I suppose as farmers come out and witness the research as it's happening, get results from what has happened so far that season, do they ever, maybe in asking a question, give the research people ideas what to do next time?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's the neat thing about Extension, is that it's a two-way street. They're able to tell the researcher what they need, but the researcher also gives back those golden nuggets of being able to help that farmer. And that's the good thing about here as well, is we bring in a lot of the experts that, whether they're tiling experts, the guys in the field that are installing the tile, or the farmers that come and say, hey, how do I keep the water held back in my farm? So those are some of the interesting things that can be done here during the Farm Science Review, and then other times when we have field days and such.
And one of the things I think is so neat is the fact that not only the Ohio State University, but other colleges and universities are here at the review, and you're getting an intermingling of ideas from professors, from students, from parents.
Yep, you're absolutely right. We've had Purdue here over the years, Michigan State here, and so there's just a plethora of information that can be gained from all the different types of experts that are around in their field.
But as I guess you might say, the heart and soul of the review every year are the exhibitors, and people come from far and wide, from not only Ohio but out of state as well.
You're right. These exhibitors that we have here are top-notch. You know, we have some of the greatest crop consultants, machinery manufacturers, and people that look at from watershed management. I was just talking to one of them today to see how we can work with some product that they have to implement right here on the Farm Science Review site. So when we look at the exhibitors that we have, we're utilizing them here as well at Farm Science Review because they're that quality of a person and of a company.
And one of the other things that I like is the fact that some of these colleges and universities actually give you speakers, give you people to carry on various kinds of dialogue for the public, for them to sit and rest and get be able to soak up a lot of education.
You're right, and that's the neat thing is OSU Extension comes out and provides a great number of applications. And one thing we haven't talked about, we focused on farming a lot, and we talked about watershed management and conservation as all the experts that deal with the environment as well. And when some people think about environment, they're like, that's not farming. Well, they go hand in hand. You know, the water comes from the sky to the ground and right back into the stream. So it's that full cycle that deals with the Gwinn Conservation Area and all the different aspects, whether it's tree management or watershed or how things look in the stream as well. So.
And you make it quite easy for folks that come to the review to get to the Gwinn by just taking them in wagons drawn by tractors that old-fashioned way.
Yep, they take a 5-minute ride to the Gwinn Conservation almost to field demos. So it's one of those where we're going to be talking about field demos here. So you get that nice compliment, hey, I can go to the Gwinn Conservation Area, spend some time there, and then walk right over to field demonstrations. And you've about achieved the pinnacle of what you could have as a farm show experience. The 100 acres at Farm Science Review, the Gwinn Conservation, and part of that with field demonstrations. It doesn't get much better than that.
And really, if the weather holds relatively stable, you're able to see everything that you've planned at the various demonstration plots.
That's right. You know, we're going to have everything from soybean harvest. I have to count them on my hand, Gary. We have so much. Soybean harvest. We're the only large outdoor show in North America does soybean harvest. So think about that. We're one of a kind. Corn harvest, tillage demonstrations, precision agriculture demonstrations, tiling demonstrations. And they're all working demonstrations. It isn't just we're putting a few feet of tile in the field. This is field scale level type of work that we're doing here.
So this is Farm Science Review behind the scenes planning to do all of this, but you wait for the review to actually put it in place.
That's right. We plant 1,500 acres here each year, corn, soybean, and then we do a lot of different types of cover crops that go along with that and complement it. But we dedicate a third of our production acres to the Farm Science Review demonstrations.
One of the things, too, that I think I see a little bit more every year. Of course, this was set up, and primarily farmers, the rural people come to the show, but seems like I see more urban people coming every year.
There are a few more urban people that are coming because they're hearing about, well, how do I grow a garden in the city? How do I do this urban agriculture thing? And they're like, what's going on here? So, you know, we have a small farm center that addresses those type of opportunities where people can learn about how to maybe grow a small patch of blueberries, or how do I have chickens in my backyard without upsetting the neighbors. So, you know, there's a place here for everybody at the Farm Science Review, and whether you buy a 500 horsepower combine or you're buying that 10 horse tractor, it's all here for you if you want to come.
And of course, you want to reach people of all ages, but to get that younger person that's maybe a little bit better enhanced with social media, you're really growing that here.
Oh, we're so excited about our social media. We look at it as one of the greatest tools in our toolboxes. You know, if you start looking through farm magazines right now, they're kind of thin. But if you look at some of the social media platforms, and I'm not going to say one or the other, but some of our videos have just taken off, and hopefully people can be entertained, but also educated at the same time. You know, the Script Ohio that we did has over 8 million views now. And to say that, it's like, all right, well, there must be something really cool here that's going on at Farm Science Review. And that's what we want to do, is be able to provide that experience where you can come learn about how that was done, maybe through GPS technology, or our American flag that we just finished up that was done with RTK GPS. That's what Farm Science Review is about, is being on the cutting edge and being able to teach the farming community on what the next level is in farming. And so there's so many things, whether we're talking about having 3 or 4 different drones flying during field demos. I mean, Gary, I could talk for hours upon what's going on.
I know you could. In fact, I was going to say this is just the tip of the iceberg.
You're right.
And so if folks want to get a little bit more information, you've got a website that gives you a lot of info. How easy is that to get to?
You know, you can go to fsr.osu.edu. That's farmsciencereview.osu.edu. And our website will lead you to a lot of different places. But also go to your social medias. Type in Farm Science Review. You'll be amazed what's out there. I mean, this is just, like you said, we're on the cutting edge of breaking loose in the social media thing. Look in your farm magazines. We're going to have ads in there. Go to your local extension offices and buy tickets. We want you to buy tickets early because you don't have to stand in line buying your $10 ticket, plus you save $3. How much better deal is that? You save
30%.
30%. See, I didn't even have to figure that. I mean, I'm here at a university and you helped me out with that. So, Gary, there's a lot of fun things to do here at Farm Science Review. September 21st, 22nd, 23rd this year. You don't want to miss it. You want to come back out. We've been off a year. Let's roll.
Matt Sullivan is Superintendent of Grounds. Matt, thanks for being with us.
Thank you, Gary.
Rodock and Midway Trailers are Ohio's premier Thunder Creek dealers for fuel trailers and DEF delivery systems. Thunder Creek offers versatile, reliable, and best of all, legal transportation and handling for fuel and DEF systems. Let us know how our teams at Midway Trailers in Rodock can get you set up and ready any time of the year. For fuel and service trailers, economy trailers, service and lube trailers, double wall trailers, split tank trailers, bulk DEF trailers, and standalone DEF systems for trucks. Remember Rodock and Midway Trailers, Ohio's premier Thunder Creek dealer, with 3 locations to serve you in Delphus, St. Mary's, and Dayton. Now's the time to harvest more savings with New Holland and Apple Farm Service. Take home a new baler, mower conditioner, rake, tractor, or skid loader with 0% interest up to 60 months and cashback options. Hurry and stop into your local Apple Farm Service today. Alan Davis, business owner, active farmer. No one knows farmers' needs better than Alan. Give him a call today at 419-738-7447 and talk about total farm protection and more. Alan Davis Insurance Agency is your solutions provider for auto, home, life, business, recreational, total farm protection and more. Call 419-738-7447. That's 419-738-7447. The 169th Auglaize County Fair, August 1st through the 7th. Free music in the TSC Entertainment Tent. Free gospel music all week long. Free grandstand events that include harness racing, demolition derby, and on Saturday, August 7th, the Lucas Oil Truck and Tractor Pull. The Auglaize County Fair, August 1st through the 7th. We're back and can't wait to see you at the 169th Auglaize County Fair, the Family Fair. For more, visit us at auglaizecountyfair.org.
Hey, that's going to do it for this week's edition of In Ohio Country Today. For more information, check us out on the web at inohiocountry.com. We'll have a link to our YouTube page, our Facebook, and our podcast at inohiocountry.com. Have a good day, everybody.